Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more adventures of Ash and Steel. Now in the last episode we dipped our toes into this region, faced a powerful mauler, headed down the road there and saw two rather large beetles next to each other, and if this game has taught us anything, it's that two rather large beetles is generally one rather large beetle more than we can handle. So I'm going to try to tackle this region from a different angle. There are a few options available to me. Ooh, I could wait for the world to load in for starters, that'd be good. Oh joy. Give me another one of those sessions, is it? Dear game. Finally. And the logs have just come in. Great. Well, let's walk nice and slow and give the world time to fill itself in while we come up with a plan. So, we do have a map now, and we've partially explored it a tiny little bit. We haven't managed to find our great vantage point in the outskirts yet, and it would have been nice to do that. Here we go. Could it be near the mercenary hall? The hound? I'm feeling possibly that the High Fort has that stony sort of bridge that goes over the hound. I suspect that may be it. If, though, we go back to the hunters' camps around here, there's a path down here that seems to lead into the same region. We do know there's a very tall tower near the Free Hunters' camp that we're supposed to climb. That could theoretically get us some of the map. We could try get that pig by the alchemists, which is near the Free Hunters' camp. Or we could try heading back to the other hunters' camp and deal with those two brigands who are guarding the road. We probably can't tackle them both at once yet, but we might be able to drag out one if we're really lucky, if we approach from the other direction. That could use a lot of our wolfsbane though, and we're trying to save flasks for the dangerous journeys we wish to take. So I'm kind of thinking we head off this way towards the Free Hunters Farms, and why am I jogging? Or we could get to this little mountain range climb over. Oh. Okay, I'm not sure why the game has been laggy the last couple of episodes. Let's hope it's not as bad as the last one. I suspect it's something in the latest patch that has undone the obvious optimization we were seeing in the previous one. Yeah, I know what I did there. I pressed a button. I'm waiting. There we go. Let's get all this in. Work our way through. We've got a long way to go still, but we're working at it. Still no idea how to get any of the world sense things, because everything just seems to be in the will to live section. We would like to... I mean, skills are going to be less of an issue. So let's just... The thing is, it probably won't have loaded any of the world while I had that open. But it might have been worthwhile anyway. Food. That's a good point. Or some big ass healing potions in case things get really rough. Fair enough, I suppose. Now we've cleared out most of the monsters around that pig, so we may be able to chase after it. I think we got our final stinger now, but I'm not certain. We might have to get the one near the pig. Last time we chased the pig, it fell down into a ravine, and we struggled to try and find its body. Now we've cleared out all the monsters in the gorge, so we should be able to seek with impunity. If it goes further, to the area with the maulers in, then we're going to have to slow down and tackle maulers one or two at a time. We do have money in the bank. We can draw out interest occasionally. Game, you're taking really long on this first loading lag, and I know there's two on this bridge. Well, it's more of a raised walkway, really. And wow, let's wait for the world, I think. Look at that. Oof. That's getting better. You know, I even restarted my computer before starting this recording in case there was anything gumming up the system that could be cleared out, you know. Yep, I literally tried turning it off, then turning it on again. Well, let's get a little bit of a move on. We can still look into investing in the house. How are we doing for money? 365. Okay, not enough for a significant house upgrade, but it is something. Now, we do know there's a couple of brigands up this path. I think one might have a bow. You know what? Ow. That was like 2 or 3 seconds to open up the menu. Maybe we should try to avoid combat tonight. That may be difficult, but we can at least see how laggy a fight would be. My God. Well, the answer appears to be very.
I'll gut you like a fish.
He's drawn out a non-ranged weapon. I think we're onto something here.
Yeah. You like that? It's only going to hurt more.
And as usual, we need to be swinging before he enters our reach. Let him come. There we go. Oh, another old claymore. We should start collecting those to melt down. And we should not consider this safe just yet, but we should save our progress, because that was pretty good, all things considered.
I'll rip your head off.
It's a one-handed weapon. I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Come on, I want you where I can loot you. again, our opponents are using quite basic items, so the majority of their power must be coming from their abilities, from their stats. And the music sounds quite dangerous, so I'm going to save again because we've slain another notorious brigand. So infamous was he doesn't even have a name. Actually, that reminds me of something I've never really... Ooh, a mauler. I can fight a mauler. Especially if it's... Oh, two... Do they come back? Oh yeah, you keep coming, pal. Or we could just have you be immune to damage due to lag again. We've played that game before. It's called Shit Wolf Never Gets Hit Wolf. Fucking hell, finally. Again,
You asked for it!
Oh, fuck off. I thought I hadn't killed these wolves earlier. I think we're coming down near the pig. Graveyard should be over that way. But I can't be 100% certain on that. I'm also pretty sure that's hail grass down there, so... In the interest of being whole and hearty, and maybe even becoming a little more hardy, nothing to do with Tom, who apparently is nothing to do with Thomas Hardy, who wrote Far From Madding Crowd and The Mayor of Casterbridge and all those great books that everybody loves and barely remembers. Yeah, look, fucking wolf. Come here, you bastard. Stop piss-assing around. Oh, there's a bark bug. Excellent. Well, I'll stomp on that too. Interesting. Bark bugs cannot be stomped during combat. What the fuck off? Not two of you. Oh, you fucking fuck off. Well, you're far more aggressive. Right. Spat 'em. You've got a big ass sword. And they fucking asked for it. Okay, this is good. This makes more sense than where I originally thought it was. Or does it? Hang on. It's a new bridge. It's not... Let me just... Maybe I should try and find where that blasted bark bug's got to. Because it was around here. And I wasn't able to squelch it during the fighting. Instead, Tristan stepped gingerly around it. So wherever it is, it appears to have had a lucky escape. So this is the little resting spot down by the water. We should probably swim this at some point, but not with a metal helmet on. Do we have any sort of food? Yeah, but not really. Okay, that'll do. So this would then lead back to the camp and our hovel. Yeah, these people need some new talking points. Perhaps we should create something interesting. Some sort of event or occasion upon which they could remark. Maybe not the state of our dress. So if we head this way and take the usual path towards the location where the pig actually is, that would probably aid us significantly. Also, there's another bridge back there we could go and check at some point. And there's a grave we want to dig up here, we're not sure which, but I've also seen some kind of Walking Dead abomination in there. And those can give us a pretty hard time at the moment. Now, Tristan, ease up. There's a pig ahead somewhere. So you're going to save the game. Now the good thing is, we don't consume stamina while running after the pig in target lock-on mode. Look, dear pig. Where the fuck are you? Right. Well, shit. Where'd it go? One way down, no doubt. Fucking hell. Well, I found it. Dear pig. Well, now that we're in the graveyard, we might as well explore it a bit. Can I read the tombstones? Because I would hate to dig up the wrong one. Also, that looks like it can absolutely be explored at some point. I see it. I don't like it, but I see it. I hope it is alone. Well, But now that's cheating, come on.
Come at me!
Tristan, don't encourage the bastard. It might do it again. Back up! Back the fuck up, Tristan. Don't get greedy now. Okay, that was greedy.
Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale.
Okay. Nothing. Well, that's not good. That church looks very dangerous. But hey, since we're here... Oh, wow. Okay, I think we'll take the hint. It's too dangerous to save the game here. I'm not going to ask why that could be. I mean, we got an autosave for some reason. Now, I'm looking for the tomb of a famous smuggler. We can light a candle. We can also extinguish it. Okay. This tomb has an exquisite rapier. That probably belonged to some... Look, let's put it this way. We don't want someone picking it up and using it on us. I'm not seeing any obvious indicators apart from the candle as to which graves we may wish to interact with. The fact that someone has placed a candle there would indicate that someone's coming paying their respects to that particular grave. Or this one. Wait, what's... We can pick up that rock? Let's do the obvious thing now. And put the rock...
Something's blocking it from the other side.
To conceal the fact we've picked up that mirror. Now, why would someone be hiding a mirror on top of a graveyard? Couple of reasons. They could be coming here at night to do their hair and check their makeup, maybe brush their teeth or something, you know. Perhaps a chap likes shaving, right? There's three candles around the graveyard that can be lit, and doing so may perform some kind of ritual. Can we save now? I suspect. Oh, we can. Definitely something to do with that chapel then. So the chap who's pretending to be the empty wine bottle. So yeah, the mirror could be an indicator that someone is spending time here. However, remember the other undead creature we encountered also had an old mirror on its person, and that could be part of the ritual that grants it life. Gold bracelet. Let's leave that there. Oh, hey. Brute liver. Yeah, never mind that. Rare animal heart. Hey, somebody wanted both those things, and we gave them to him. A gold statue. I hope it's not some kind of necromantic ritual we assisted with. By giving him those items in a previous episode. And why would this... Was the area just too dangerous because the combat music was still playing? Well, I'm thinking we should take the mirror back to the Gravediggers Guild and see if they respond. We've dealt with the pig. How are we doing for stingers? 29 of 30. And we know there's one nearby in this direction. We also know we can drop them in 1 or 2 hits of our sword. And we know there's either 2 or 4 maulers in 2 groups of 2 near the creature. But yes, there we go, it's... Gotcha. Oh, you fucking git. Oh well. We can go back for that. So there's 2 more. So what we're going to do is look down here and check for the beetle. I believe we've already slain. Doesn't appear to be moving down there, unleashing its clouds of insects upon me. You know what, let's just go back and loot that stinger and go to the Gravediggers. Shit. I actively looked for that beetle. I suppose I could go there now and actively look for it some more. There's a road here we could explore. Many options, many risks. The beetle is on its own, and theoretically therefore quite manageable. Nasty spot of lag there, Tristan. Hey, that looks like we should definitely be able to... I hear beetle. I don't believe it's down here, but it could easily be up there somewhere. Or... it could be a little one. Right, you. We're taking that, just so that I don't lose it somehow. And then we're going to come back round here and say, there's the bugger. Oh, excellent.
Come at me!
That's so unfair, and you know it. Fucking hell, Tristan. How many? I pressed the button twice there. Finally. Fucking hell, we really need to work on his stamina. Because it ain't doing that great. Yep, camping's good. Healing's good. It would really be quite nice to get some better healing potion recipes. The mirror has not gone to quest items. And it's growing dark. Okay. Well, this is going to get interesting, isn't it? We're trying to save money. It's a long way back to the nearest camping spot. But it is through areas we have mostly made safe. And there's a beetle up there at the top of the cliff to the left, so that might have been the one we heard previously. Do we rest overnight in our home? Or leg it back to town? Let's leg it back to town and aim for Jiri's camp again. Then we can head into the Gravediggers Guild. Wow, game. Yeah, the game really doesn't like moving from the old level 10 to the new level 10 with the new leveling scheme. It just got seriously laggy. That's interesting. I don't know how often... Is the game running a script every few seconds to check if we've leveled up so that it can carry over the extra experience points? That would be interesting, instead of having a script that triggers only when we gain a level. That would be very interesting indeed. But before I speak too soon and say things seem to be running much smoother now, yeah, you know what? Let's slow it down. Maybe just... No, I could say maybe the lag is lasting longer on load, but it lasted for the whole episode last time, so let's not go making that kind of assumption just yet. What we could do, however, is head inside and purchase some foodstuffs before heading to Jiri's camp.
Can't trust anyone nowadays.
You know what?
My bones are aching again. Been trying all sorts of ointments, nothing helps.
We could even hit up the
You
bank
said
in
it.
town as well.
Have you seen how fat the guard captain's face is, though? Won't
Something
fit
was
through the
banging around in the
entrance
cellar
soon.
all
Weather's been
night.
mad lately.
Couldn't bring myself to
Sunny,
risk
rainy,
checking
then
what it
sunny
was.
again.
Oh, maybe I should move to the village.
I keep
The
nosy.
city makes me sick.
There was a bloody war. Let's see what he's got. Ooh. Advanced. Advanced. Yeah. Got any basics for me? lots of advanced recipes that would be nice to get hold of. We'll get a couple of beakers. Make it free so he's not left with 13 of them. Right. 27. What else? A scrumptious sandwich. We don't know what's in it. It looks like it's got honey dripping out. Let's get a couple of cabbages. Some onions. Throw in some carrots, tomatoes. It'll all go into the next salads, you know. A cucumber. A nice one.
A good price!
Not like the one I bought recently. That will probably do, to be honest.
I heard that their leader was given the boot.
Also, you can teach us some skills.
I have lots of
Happens all the
things on me
time,
right
huh?
now.
Sure. Something was when you arrived in summer warm.
I've grown fearless. Someone was rubbed right in the eye.
We should rest before eating, because the rest heals up to a certain percentage of health, and the eating would also heal. It makes more sense to eat before resting, but mechanically after is better. So this is a game of breakfast, the army that marches on its stomach. Not the army that fills its stomach, then goes to sleep all night and marches the next day for ages before finally getting something to consume in the evening. Well, here we are, getting ready to bed down again for the night, under the stars, without a care in the world except for all the assassins who seem to be trying to do us in.
Lurk in the woods. Do you need anything?
Well, let's start with a good night's sleep. And I know I said it last time, but that 5 dexterity we got for frequent camping is going to make meeting requirements for things. Oh, it's fatigue, not... Oh, I see. Fine. It's going to make skill requirements and item requirements so much easier to meet. Okay, can we do it? We can do it. Also, cabbage, salad. That's going to be a weird one. Raw cabbage, not the best. Tell you what, once, when I was a student, there was a guy staying in the same building as me called Pete. And he was training to be a chef. I was cooking my dinner, right? I'd chopped up ingredients, I was boiling water in a pan, you know, not everything had gone in the pan yet. And him and his mate came in really drunk and saw the chopped up cabbage that hadn't gone into the meal yet. And Pete was like, "Oh yeah, cabbage is great." Sat down, started picking it up and stuffing it into his mouth and eating it. And while I gazed on in incredulity, after a while he said, "Oh no, I'm starting to taste it." He'd only just realised it wasn't cooked. Anyway, he got his comeuppance a while later. His girlfriend's husband... Sorry, no. His girlfriend told his girlfriend's husband that she was having an affair with Pete. At the same weekend that her husband's violent alcoholic friend from out of town was visiting. You can imagine how that went. They came round and battered him with snooker cues, and he spent about 4.5 hours sitting in the hospital waiting room just to be seen. He wrapped a pillow round his head and screamed at them to fuck off until they finally did, after they'd given him enough of a walloping. And funny enough, he didn't have an affair with that woman anymore after that. Now, the interesting part is she didn't tell him. She didn't tell her husband to end the affair. She did it by accident, slipped up or bragged or something in an argument, you know. And in all honesty, they weren't being particularly subtle about hiding it either. You know, she'd come down and shag him and leave, and pretty much everyone in the building knew about it and disapproved. We just didn't know where her family lived particularly, you know. So she messed up and did it herself. That looks like 4 wooden plates. Right, we don't have that. Anything new? Okay, Ranta. Good mother. That's the High Fort. Wait. This is the Alchemist. Yeah, by the crossroads. I think. Under the bridge in the crossroads. I think we know who that is. Big Tooth and his gang. Dead or alive. Reward increases of every additional gang member brought in. Inquire at barracks. We'll take that one. Arena. Someone probably dropped a dagger there once. And then they talked about the wind blowing the next day. Then they got completely oblivious and forgot everything they talked about. And forgot the fact that the game used to have an actual combat system. And said, but I hit him with the sword, why did I miss? Then they went to some place on the very edge of the sky itself. Then they never made another fucking game ever again because they released Elder Scrolls Online and it was shit, and that's been their excuse to never make Elder Scrolls 6, the bastards. Yeah, exactly. We're about to enter the city. The city is dangerous. There's a terrible, undefeatable foe in the city known as lag. The lag is horrid and nasty. And hey, that was at the bottom. When did all this lot get rearranged? We definitely want to work our way up to these. Oh, 9. We can get 6 from this, so we're talking at least 2 levels before we can use the strength 30 items. 3 exquisite rapiers now. Well, we were headed to the Gravediggers Guild, but we also want to get a lot of food. I didn't cook that meat on the campfire. Should have done that. And with our current health, we should be avoiding any excess risks. Wouldn't it be really nice if Pinker, the guard who's off duty in the dockside tavern of an evening, could be found on duty wearing his uniform at some point during the hours of daylight? He might not acknowledge the fact that we need to come and see him about something dodgy and illegal that he's probably doing off duty, like Don Beach from a bill, and instead just refuse to see us until he's off duty in a highly conspicuous, blatantly obvious place. Oh no, I think that is red and black, so that could be a town guard uniform after all. It's just the black doesn't because of the shadows of the night, it doesn't stand out from a red too much. Okay, okay, shame. Oh. Kiamon City. That's Jer sweeping, isn't it? I know that sound. We heard it last time I came to town. So the quest didn't update when we found the mirror. Perhaps we were supposed to dig under the rock after picking up the mirror. The implication being that he buried things there in the grave and the mirror was just a little bit too close to the surface and wasn't covered with enough dirt before he put the rock on it. Well, it's a possibility we should not overlook. Ugh.
Is he wearing that junk?
Hey, sweetheart, I know you don't like my duds, but hey. Now, I know, Americans say duds for clothes. Actually, no, they don't. It's, they say dude. Dude derives from the word duds. Duds being an old word for a set of clothes. So we'll have those. Look, the green apples don't give us anything for stats, but they'll give us health back. What am I doing? Pie man. We want pies. There are plenty of pies on the food list. Let's have an apple there.
Ugh, gross.
An apple a day keeps the pleasant tastes away, apparently. For some reason, Tristan doesn't like apples, or these particular apples.
What a thick fog.
Oh yeah, bank. I can check that on my way back out. Give a little more time for the interest to build up. Tristan, mate, that's 3 hours. That's probably
Gross.
enough for now.
Why's he wearing that junk?
And hey, our experience bar is looking very nice, isn't it? Very nice indeed. Is there anything like an exquisite rapier we might want to sell in the marketplace later on, after checking if we can melt it down first? Good question. Let's check later. Have another apple while you're at it. Might as you know what? We can check the bank both ways, on the way in and the way out. It helps buy us some time for the other places of business to open up. Although I think the Grave Diggers Guild is always open for business. You know what? 4 apples. Have a bloody drink, man. Help all those chewed up bits of apple flesh settle and slide down your gullet. Alright. Bot. 50 gold, okay. Another payout in a little over 4 minutes? Well, guess what? We can do that. So, 50 gold, that's like 5% of the 1,000 gold we put in there. And we can get presumably another 50. It might not be 50, right? That might be a lot of amounts, so it might just be like another 10 or something. In which case, we shouldn't necessarily be in a rush to get it out. But hey, we're meandering through the city towards the Gravediggers Guild, and we should probably... Like, books, right? What's this? Ordinary note.
Why
We
is
know
he
what
wearing
is.
that junk?
We've read that. Never mind that. Oh, 2 matching mirrors? That's even worse. Right. Oh, what are we after? 3 hailgrass. Great, we can make a potion. Stormwind's War Parts 1 and 5. Let's see about obtaining Part 2, shall we? When the shop is actually open, Tristan. You just gained 50 gold from the bank, so that could go towards purchasing a new volume to study. Have another drink. Here you go. You know you want to. Now, Tristan does lead a very active life. Lots of walking and running around. So he can afford to gobble and guzzle all the food and drink he's been consuming. But maybe there should be a limit on the amount he can imbibe in a day. And yeah, I know imbibing is only drinking, so imbibe and... We'll work on something for food. Devour. We could look at the map and pretend we don't know our way around very much. But by this point we've got a pretty good idea of the city layout. Let's head to the building which on the map bears the mark of a gravestone with a spade in front of it. We could stop in the inn on the way in case Pink is there. He won't be, so let's not bother. I'm also fairly certain he won't just be standing out here on the street.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Will do, pal. Oh look, you can't see me anymore, you're facing the wrong way. And now there's buildings in the way, so tough. I'm going to presume that's another nameless fellow, and instead head directly to the building I want to enter. Here we go. Hey. Yep, we got nothing. Although, interestingly enough, okay. That's a lot of skills he can teach us. So the mirror, probably not for the quest. I might hang on to it for now anyway. Because there's 2 of them, and theoretically the game would let me keep whichever one I needed, if I needed one, and not automatically get rid of that one first. Or it doesn't care which is which. Because if I have to go meet someone in the graveyard and he's like, hey, where's my mirror? And we're like, oh, sorry, here you go, mate, have a mirror. You know, very sort of Baldur's Gate 3 kind of interaction, where you can, like, give him a dodgy mirror or something. But anyway. Yes, I was thinking of a particular Baldur's Gate 3 interaction there, involving a tiefling and a soul coin, after a bugbear assassin has made an attempt on her life. Now, ooh, we could indeed go back to the bank and see if our dividend has paid
Keep
off.
your hands where I can see them.
Or we could just go, well, hey, look, it'll happen eventually. Let's go to Vin's instead and see if we can do anything with these bloody rapiers. Or even just sell them off. Actually, selling things for money is probably far better at the moment. Right, is it that one? I do believe it is. Daggers. 3 of 3 rapiers. Perfect. One or 2 old claymores. 1 or 2 simple swords. Okay, it'll be a while. Oh, that's a very good point, actually. Five of 1 will make it. It's done. It's only 1 iron. I didn't even think it was 3. Ah, the Master's Axe was 2 steel. Noted. So now we have a 45 damage hammer that requires 626 strength, which we can get by donning that amulet. So a 10-point damage increase. Obviously slower attacks, but can knock things down. If we're going to be using a slower weapon, we need to toughen up, because we're going to end up getting hit a lot more. So a better helmet would be in order, and possibly even some kind of proper armor. Where? There he is. Alright, now he'll take the axe and the sword. Alright.
How much will you pay for this?
That much.
That's 10 experience points towards the next level. Not much, but something. And we could sell this for 44. Common price. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have sold that. We should have melted that down. Anyway, that is obviously very expensive. It would be nice. Let's leave it. And go get some more food. Because the bakers should now be open. know what? Well, buddy boy. What we got? Apples? Sure, apple pie is nice. Fresh bread and meat, which is apparently a pie. Looks more like a pasty. Fresh bread and potatoes, like a cheese and potato pasty, maybe? Cabbage pie... So, cabbage pie, I think, is one. Fresh bread and meat, I think, is on the list, as is the apple pie. Mushroom pie is definitely on the list. Okay, so if we just go grab 20 of those right now, it's very expensive, but that's a guarantee on the list. Yeah, we can eat our apples while we wait. Right. I think mushroom pie is fortitude or stamina, I can't remember. I don't think it's anything. That 21 or 25 is something we don't know how we're getting it, but we're close. The fact it doesn't seem to be progressing anytime soon implies it's something we don't do very often. 43 of 50 is pretty good. Alright. Well, what can we do while we're around town? Return to Pinker. Yeah, he's not around at the moment. Oh, right. Dior. Is he the butcher? I don't think he's the alchemist we need to take the sword back to. No. Of course, the awkward thing is, he should be on our list anyway, except we obviously met him a long time before. He might not even be in town. We will go this way. No, we won't. Where is it? So yeah, dig up his grave. And we got a "there's something blocking it from the other side" message when we went to put the rock back down again, so I suspect that is the dig spot. Now, that's impossible at this point, basically. Would love to find his house at some point. Where are we? Dior the jeweler. It is him. Right, okay. Well, let's head back this way then. Because it's somewhere over here.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Right, mush. Now in. So actually in this district. Okay. How fortunate I was in the area.
Expensive, the bet.
Now listen.
I met a woman at the town graveyard.
Oh, right. Poor Dorothy. She and Howie were inseparable, like two peas in a pod. That's what you call love.
She says that she keeps seeing her husband in her dreams. He's saying he can't move.
Sure he can't. She still can't bring herself to fulfill his dying wish.
What was that?
Howie asked for his body to be burnt to ashes instead of buried. The Seven teach that we must scatter the ashes of the dead to the winds, but Dorothy still keeps his in an urn. She just can't let him go. And that's why Howie can't find peace, even in death.
Interesting. Maybe we should go talk to her about that. Clearly it's weighing on her conscience heavily. And we know she should be near the church, so that's a fairly easy fulfillment. And now we can definitely go to the bank and see what kind of payout we can get. Will it be 50 again, or something significantly less? Doesn't particularly matter either way, but it's an interesting experiment. Because we've obviously spent more than 50 already. Far more. It's just offsetting our deficit at this point. Hey. 25. Okay, so looks like we're getting 25 roughly every half an hour. So 50 an hour. We would be talking, what, 20 hours to recover the 1,000 gold we put in? And if we put in 2,000, we'd be talking, unless it's a scaling interest rate. If it's the same interest rate, it would be like still another 20, you know, it would be the same. Minus any we've actually put, so it might be like 18 or 19 and a half because of the money we've already put in, but yeah.
Take a look!
Okay, let's stop for a moment. I was about to assess if it was a good idea.
Just be sure to purchase two.
69, that's the fatigue. Oh, and we're down to 99 immunity. So yeah, immunity seems to have changed from a massive number to a percentage out of 100.
Golden ale is the fairest of them all.
Why do you look like you might be a unique individual? Apparently you're not, lady. You're not that special. I mean, she didn't look particularly different, but she was standing off to the side a bit. Enough to imply she might actually have a name and be a person worth talking to. I could walk through the graveyard path to see if I spot her, but I'm pretty sure she'll be around the main building, if not inside it itself. Now then, old dear, you asked me to look into this. You might not like what I'm going to tell you. But here we go. Let's seek the old biddy out. She does not seem to be inside the building. At least, not yet. Could be a time of day thing. It could be that the quest has led her back to that particular gravestone. Although I'd say that doesn't seem to be the case, which is a bit of a relief, honestly. Well, I suppose it gives us an opportunity to meander the graveyard again. Although, I imagine her helping with the church, it's likely to be more directly around the building, as she's supposed to be cooking and cleaning, you know, handing out food to the needy, running a soup kitchen, that kind of thing. Maybe she'll tell... Oh, and I think it was mostly a morning job. So I doubt we should be trying here in the evening for her. Nope, those two individuals are not her. Neither is this person sitting on the steps. Probably shouldn't stray too far from the city without finding the old dear. Although we should also probably wonder where the hell she is. I mean, maybe she's gone home for the afternoon, or... I'm imagining she might dwell somewhere relatively nearby. I'm probably not going to go too far on my way for her. But I could at least check the other local shops and surrounding area. I'm not going to sell my steel. Okay, we could sell some of those if we make some more. What else? So this is a good place for one-handed weapons. Should definitely make... as opposed to the two-handed weapons in the marketplace. Well, that's good. It differentiates the two shops. There's also some lovely shields on the wall here, which Tristan never seems to ask about. Or understand that they might actually keep him alive in times of hardship. The game does love to make it a little bit too hard to track down people you've already dealt with that you need to go to hand something in. And it's not because you don't remember where they are, it's because they aren't there. They've gone away. They are somewhere
Everything's
else.
fresh! Everything's tasty!
Or temporarily invisible. So why not we
Golden
just
ale is the
have a little jog
fairest
back
of them
again?
all.
In case for some reason she just wasn't there today. And then maybe wonder if we didn't go far enough away. Pretty sure we've seen her inside the building, sweeping up a bit. She doesn't seem to be in here now, obviously. And don't worry, we know what she looks like. She's the old lady with short grey hair. Yep. Wait. Found you. Oh, well, wait for the lag.
You must
Here's
scatter Howie's ashes to the winds.
What? How? Who are you?
My name is Tristan. Your husband wanted his body to be put to fire like the Seven tell us to, right?
Yes, we did just that.
But you didn't finish the ritual. The ashes need to be scattered. And why didn't you?
I can't remember. When Howie died, I was this close to committing a distor. Still have the rope already. These days are all
Oh dear.
blurry in my mind. I can't even remember where he wanted me to do that.
Perhaps one of his friends knows something. Maybe Amir or Dior?
Nah, not them. But Helmut might help.
Oh no.
My husband and him were always close.
Give me the urn. I'll do the rest.
Here, have it. I don't even know what would be the right thing to do anymore.
That's another person to track down. I'm gonna go out on a limb and presume Helmut is one of the business people in town.
Why is he wearing that junk?
Lady, why did your voice suddenly grow a lot younger? I don't think we've rediscovered Helmut since the introduction of the glossary. I'm correct. I do, however, think we can learn about stingers. Yeah! So much closer to that next level. We've also been fighting some lowlives. Big man. Okay. Tried. Just one more of these, mind you. Oh, that's a lot of... 10 smugglers' pigs to find out that they die to like a one-hit kill. That's a bit silly, isn't it? So, Helmut... I don't particularly recall. Where have I not looked recently? Don't think it's a market stall. Don't think it's him. I know it's not him. It's not going to be him. Won't be those three. Those two. Or here. Or here. It's not going to be a bookshop. Or the jewelers. So then we're looking up here, right? Is Helmut the one who runs the poorhouse? We're basically looking at the alchemist. Okay, so we're talking heading over towards the slums, whatever we're doing. The slums and the docks. So let's go in that direction. And then we can check places.
Fog's
along the
rolling
way.
in. Weather looks grim.
We could also double check the dagger cellar. And he's not around right now. In fact, all the market stalls seem to be without their proprietors. Evening. That's why. Okay. Oh dear. Well, in that case, we have a way of dealing with that. And my yawning there may have given it away slightly.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Easy there, Tristan. We've used a lot of flasks of wolfsbane this episode. We can make one more, so we should be a little more cautious. Now, one of the reasons for that was our food shortage. Go on, Tristan. Get a good night's sleep. And maybe check the bank in the morning as well. Or just leave it and allow it to accrue. Don't know what you think you're carrying, mate, but it's currently invisible.
Why is he wearing that junk?
So now we're searching for a man whose surname is definitely not Cole. Look, for some reason I wanted to call him Helmut Cole at least twice so far, so I got it out of there finally. What was he, Chancellor of Germany at some point? In the 80s or 90s, maybe? Anyway. Now we got that out of the way, let's go looking for the fellow. And while we're at it, 199 might not be enough. Okay. Might not be enough to purchase the second book on the war. No deals for jeweler. This fellow, the alchemist here, I don't recall his name. I'm going to save the game in case we get into trouble going into his shop early in the morning. Isn't it nice how some of the shopkeepers stand outside their shop in the morning so we can speak to them and trade early? Not this one, though. Emir? Terribly sorry, I thought you might be someone else.
What was that?
That? You know what, I'm going to reload. Mate, that was me walking through the door behind you. You should know, you almost caught me in it as you let it swing closed. I know I've spoken to her, Helmut, met him and spoke to him before, in the city somewhere. Not recently, mind you. Not for a very long time. Isn't that great now? Isn't that just great? But you know, any time we spend looking for him is time we spend building up money in the bank. So, you know, arguably, we'll have a little more to spend later on. After we've met him. It's not like we can go to people and say, hey, I'm looking for such and such a body. And they can all say, I haven't got a clue, mate. Go find him yourself. And then occasionally you might find one who's like, oh yeah, he's at such and such a place in the evenings. And you're like, well, that's great. It's not evening yet, isn't it? They're like, no, but it will be later on. He's not the moneylender, or is... Wait, the moneylender has a bodyguard that stands out front. And his name is Ulm. Checking in case that fence had a gap in it. And was somehow the direct way down.
Why is he wearing that junk?
Fog's rolling in. Weather looks grim.
So we'll try the bathhouse. We haven't been in there in a very long time. It was worth a try. Okay, Tristan, keep looking. I should really try to find him before leaving town. You're not going to be him, are you? Nope. Now we know Fillmore looks very normal, and we also know Helmut is not Fillmore. Not looking forward to this. I don't want to save the game in the city because it's really laggy loading up in the city. I don't want to leave the city without finding him. It's not going to be him, is it? Surely not. The husband, the jilted husband. Well, not jilted so much as hey, near. I don't suppose you know where Helmut is. Oh, I could sell her a big fish. Does she? No, she doesn't have any recipes we can learn. Okay, worth checking. Does she know that the gang sometimes stashes drugs outside her place? Is she the one who stashes them there? Questions we probably should not be asking at this point in time. Worth checking. None of the other grave diggers seem to have names. I don't suppose we could ask the city guides to take us to a person instead of a place. They wouldn't need to be overly accurate. You know, there could be times when a character could not be located, and some characters could be easier to locate than others. And they could eventually get to a point where, like, well, I did my best. This is as close as we're going to get, I think. So, what I could blatantly do is shrink the game down. No, that's not happening. Nope. Game. So I'm not going to go check on the forums in the background. So yeah, this episode's going to be a fun one, isn't it? Looks like we'll have to work out where Helmut is in the next episode, unless I am incredibly fortunate and find him in the not too distant future. We do have the golden statuette we can take back to the chap who wants it. And let's hope he's not up to some kind of nasty necromantic ritual, because he asked for the exact same creature body parts we found in the chapel and the graveyard. Could go back to the graveyard on the way to him and try and dig up under the stone. And if some fugitive is hiding out near the graveyard and hiding away from society, maybe he uses the mirror to check his face periodically, just to sort of reassure himself that he's still human. But yeah, those are still my eyes looking back at me out of this mess of a face. All the scratches and scars from the wilderness. Right. Where else could we look? The arena! Of course. Good thinking. There's a man there who sells ranged ammunition.
Why is he wearing that junk?
A man who sells weapons, and a man who sells metal. I think there's a cook as well. So here we are. Oh, and there's this chap up here too. Like alchemical supplies, bandages, I think. Maybe even a few potions.
Ointments, bandages, potions, what do you need?
Well, let's have a look. Nothing we can learn. Wolfsbane for 24. I mean, goodness, it costs so much to make it in terms of effort and everything we put into it. Those bandages are probably pretty cheap, though. What about you, good fellow?
Don't pass this one by, brother. My arrows are always right on target.
Are they magic?
Oh, you could say that. They're the height of performance, balance, lightness, strength, you name it. Buy some and you'll understand.
Doesn't even have a name. I believe there's a cook back here in the kitchen. Fucking hell, this is not a kitchen, he's pissing. Okay, they say his name's Hatchet. He's pissing. If we talk to him, he may start a fight. I don't think we're going to find that chap in here. Just to be completely clear. What a
Need
lovely selection
something?
of breastplates you have that are not for sale. All just weapons. You've got a word name, haven't you? Yeah. With hair that clips through your hat, but I wanted to talk to him in case he was a skill teacher who we could get on the list. I'm not sure this chap has a name. I think he just has a job title. And we've avoided speaking to him. The arena master. Yeah, quite. No name. Also no helmet. We could go check out past the docks in that sort of riverside district outside of town. Doesn't feel very wise though. We haven't been there often enough to remember the names of most of the characters out there. There's the chap who had the whole deal who got us to get a whole load of booze then sell all the booze for him. Basically doing his job for him. There's the guard who bears my name, and beyond that I don't remember any character names from out there. While we're by the poorhouse, it's bloody locked. Well, that's no good, is it? Okay, well the market stalls should be open now. Some of them, at least. Should.
Go on over! Take a look!
Okay, well she's turned up. That's something. What about the chap who sells daggers?
My rapiers!
His name is Rico, not Helmut. Oh well, we tried. Aha! Advanced probably requires steel. Journeymans. 220, hang on. So that'd be something we sell for 44, right? Very high crit chance on rapiers.
Do you want to purchase too?
There we go. You are Otto. So, in the same sort of ballpark, but not the fellow we were seeking. That's a bit of a pain. Maybe... No, I don't think he's in the outskirts. Although you don't suppose you got any wooden plates for sale. No, she has not. Oh wait. Rum, right? We could grab all of them. Let's not do that. Not yet, at any rate. Okay, I think I'm heading out of the city. Tristan wants to clear his head, get away from the loud, noisy crowd, so he can think a bit about what he's going to do next. And then I'll blatantly be looking up to find where bloody Helmut is hiding. I mean, maybe he's at that camp between here and the Free Hunters camp. Or somewhere ridiculous. I'll find out soon enough. Is that man firing a bow? He is, isn't he? Yeah, there's an arrow in the guard. And I thought the guard was kicking the man who's falling over. That looks like an arrow shaft sticking out of him. But I don't think it is. I think it's just the long scratches they put over these images. And just the way the light's pooling on the wooden support beam. But yeah, he's definitely going to loose an arrow into the middle of the melee. Probably at that warrior in the centre who's currently somewhat unengaged. What a mess that melee in the alley is. Right, well I'm going to jog out here then. And end the episode at this point. I hope you've all enjoyed this one. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode. I'll say goodbye for now though and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.